All Hell Hydra. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. This is Chris here with Commander Island, and today we're going to be talking about the newly spoiled M15 card that's just going to blow your mind. But before we get there, let's go through a little bit of why Hydras are really good in EDH. Hydras don't get a lot of love outside of EDH. They're really good in this format. They're really good in like Sealed Deck and stuff too, where the format's a little bit slower. But in EDH, there's ways just to manipulate the counters on them and a whole bunch of stuff. This guy right here, I've seen him as generals before, so there's a lot of good stuff you can do with him. Basically the Hydra thing started back up again with printing cards like this. Not as exciting as things are now, but this was a starting point. Basically, just an X and a green get you a whole bunch of counters on it and things like that. And nobody ever gave you any counters unless they just wanted to kill another person. But this is where it starts getting a little bit more juicy. You got like Hydra Omnivore. This guy is just a powerhouse in any deck that can play him in EDH. You basically just find the guy that can't block. You hit him. Everybody else is pissed off at you because they're taking damage. And if you can give this guy double strike or boost his stats up, Xenagos is really good with this too. So, everybody starts taking tons of damage. And if you can't kill everybody fast that way, you're going to have the whole table pissed off at you, and they're probably going to remove you from the game. So tread lightly when you play this guy. Make sure that you're able to win with him. Colonia Hydra. This guy is probably one of the closest cards that's come to being good in Standard. He hasn't seen much play since he came out, but everybody's pretty excited when he came out. He can do a lot of things. In EDH, you got double in season and a whole bunch of stuff like that, which makes him really good. Don't look for double in season anytime to get printed in Standard, because they do not want it in Standard only because of the Planeswalkers. They don't want people doubling up counters on that. Colonia Hydra is pretty good. Colonia Hydra, if you guys are looking for your devotion stuff, this guy is pretty sick. Most EDH decks is playing him. There's several green creatures out, especially with the number of tokens that are available. You can get this guy out pretty cheap. He's an 8/8 trampler, nothing wrong with that. Put some stats on him, that kind of thing. If he'd been legendary, you might could have made some kind of EDH deck just based around him. But here's the other one that's really good in Standard right now, Cutter Hydra. He's not so good in EDH just because more or less he's just a big creature. He's a good mana sink, I guess, but not doing a whole lot for you. But in Standard, really good. This guy is probably one of my favorite Hydras. I've seen a lot of decks built around him. It takes a lot of mana to get him out, but he's really fun. Protection from everything's pretty awesome, and the fact that he shuffles back in if he dies, or if he's your general, he's just going to move over to the command zone, which is pretty cool. That brings us to where we are today with the card that has been revealed. So, what happens if a Cutter Hydra and a Genesis Wave gets drunk and they have a wild night together? You're going to end up with something like this. This is Genesis Hydra. It's a card that's coming out in M15. It was just spoiled this morning, and it's designed by the same guy that made Plants vs. Zombies. So it's got double green and X in its casting cost. Fantastic art. And then if we check out what it does here, it basically works like a mini Genesis Wave. It only goes and gets one non-land permanent, but you're still going to end up with this huge XX creature. And with doubling season, you can add more counters on it and stuff like that. He's kind of like a Cutter Hydra without haste or the protection thing, but you're getting some benefit from playing him. You're getting out, something extra. And we all know that in EDH late in the game, you end up with just a whole bunch of stuff. And with a card like this, you might get that back-breaking bomb that you was needing. And there's tons of ways to give this guy haste, protection, all sorts of stuff in EDH. So I expect this guy to show up in a lot of decks, especially with his low, mana cost there at the top. Just 2 green isn't too restrictive, and then you can sink in all the color or non-colorless mana that you want to, and it should be pretty awesome. But I thank you guys for checking us out today. Make sure and hit that subscribe button. Like us on Facebook. Appreciate it, guys.